The shooting of Trayvon Martin in Sanford, Florida, has sparked a Justice Department investigation of that city's police force.
Authorities will be looking for possible civil rights violations in other cases. As senior correspondent John Miller reports, the investigation is actually part of a much wider pattern.
Sir, what are you doing?
This video, allegedly showing Latino residents being harassed by police in the small town of East Haven, Connecticut, is at the heart of a growing controversy over civil rights violations at the hands of the law.
The officer asked what I was doing. I was far enough away. And I told him, and I was videotaping. And
Father James Manship shot the sensitive video and was immediately arrested. He says it's just another example of East Haven police abusing their power against the Latino community.
We did have stories of people, of physical violence against them, threats made against them and their families.
After his arrest, Father James filed a civil rights complaint with the U.S. Department of Justice on behalf of East Haven's small Latino community. The two East Haven police officers in this video were indicted with two others on federal civil rights charges alleging they used their badges to assault, harass, and falsely arrest Latinos. Some residents had come to fear those who were paid to protect them.
Everybody's afraid. When you follow the deer with a gun, the deer running, right? That's what we do.
According to the Justice Department report, the pattern or practice of discriminatory policing is deeply rooted in the department's culture.
Time to time in our police work, we find departments that are, frankly, broken from top to bottom.
Assistant Attorney General Tom Perez, the Justice Department's top civil rights official, says East Haven isn't the only broken police department.
We have more investigations underway than ever before. The problems are far-reaching in East Haven. The problems are far-reaching in New Orleans. The problems are far-reaching in Puerto Rico.
There are currently 17 major police and sheriff's departments under investigation, allegedly for civil rights abuses across the country, including this fatal shooting of a homeless Native American man on a street corner in Seattle. The killing of James Chasse, a 42-year-old schizophrenic from Portland, and this beating of an inmate in a South Carolina jail.
Is it because this issue has broken out? Is it cops gone wild? Or is it an issue that was ignored?
Well, I think there was an old paradigm of how to deal with police issues, and that is you either reduce crime or you respect the Constitution, but you can't do both. That approach will inevitably lead to the belief that, well, we shouldn't second-guess police departments. I categorically reject that notion.
Arpaio, we're here!
In Maricopa County, Arizona, the flamboyant sheriff, Joseph Arpaio, is accused of biased policing towards Latinos, an accusation he denies.
I'm not a social worker. I'm a cop.
American policing describes itself as a profession, but when you match it up against other professions and their bodies of knowledge and the standards and practices for which their practitioners have to adhere to, still have a long way to go.
Bill Bratton has run 3 major police departments, Los Angeles, New York City, and Boston. He knows well the symptoms of a broken system and how to fix them.
If leadership is sending signals that anything goes, then there will be those in the organization that are going to take advantage of that.
A frontline police officer, his or her most important currency is the confidence of the public.
John Miller is here. Will we see more of this? I mean, this is a trend that will continue because of brutality and civil rights violations?
Well, I mean, to state the perfectly obvious, 99% of police officers across the 18,000 law enforcement agencies in the country go to work and do a great job every day. But I think when you see 17 of these going, you might see more of them. That's the Justice Department's posture on this, which is we're going to get into these things. On the other hand, police departments, police chiefs may look at this trend and say, I need to clean up inside before they get here.
Is there ongoing kind of conflict between the feds and the locals saying, we'll take care of our own business, thank you very much?
It's a pretty daunting thing to have the Justice Department come over, look over your police department and say, here's a new way of doing things. I think, as Bill Bratton points out, it's the chief who gets involved in that process and says, well, let's figure out how to fix this together, who ends up getting a better contract, if you will, with the Justice Department than the one who just says, well, you know, whatever you want to do, we'll stick with it.
John Miller, thanks.